Hey, welcome back everybody. I wanted to do a quick unboxing of my new welding hood. I have no idea what to expect. I've never used one of these. They had reasonably good reviews online, and let's get into her. This is exactly how it came to me. All I've done is pull it out of the Amazon box that it was shipped in. So that's a nice feature. It comes in a cute little bag. Alright. Let's see, what do we have here? Looks like maybe an instruction booklet. And a spare battery. And hopefully those are correct. It's 2 replacement shields, looks like. Please remove this protective film prior to use. Same thing. Please remove this protective film prior to use. And looks like Charlie Romeo 2450 3-volt battery. And according to the description online, it was supposed to come with one, so I can only hope, or rather 2, so I can only hope that one of those is installed. Yeah, whatever. So, first impression, you know, the bag's a nice touch. It's not amazing fabric. It has a soft feel on the inside, like it's kind of felted a little bit, but that's I don't know, polyester or nylon bag, nothing special. And the protective film is already partially removed on this corner, so hopefully that's not telling me something. Let's have a look at the headgear here. Has an interesting swivel. Some really, kind of soft padding. That's not bad. Let's loosen that up a little bit so we can flip this around so it's usable. Alright, cool. So that is basically it. How do you get this screen out? Well, don't tell me I have to read the instructions here. Alright, so first impressions, it seems like a reasonably sturdy hood. I mean, this thing cost me like $60. There was a 5% coupon available, and I think regular price was 63 or 65 bucks. That's US dollars, so seems pretty all right, considering the auto darkening hood with the little tiny viewing lens that I have from Harbor Freight. I'll be right back. Let me grab that. This Yeswelder is replacing this Harbor Freight Special, and if you look at the size of this viewing lens and the solar panel that's on it, it only has these 2 little sensors for the light, little tiny viewing lens, but you know what, for a home gamer, and especially once just starting out, I am not at all disappointed with this hood. It did great for me for a few years now, but it's just now starting to get to the point where it won't darken properly. I'll end up getting arc flashed occasionally, and that just pisses you off. When you're right in the middle of a project, you don't want to have to worry about it. So I got this. It has a very small solar lens at the top, or little PV lenses, it looks like, at the top and bottom, and then these sensors at 4 corners, and then a huge viewing window. I, again, have no idea what to expect out of that. This also has, this is pretty cool on the side, which the Harbor Freight only has, darkness. When you strike an arc, it'll go from a 9 all the way to a 13 on the whatever scale, but it's also a green lens that you're looking through. This is supposedly supposed to give you a very, very clear view of what you're welding. That's pretty terrible with this view, and also with the cover on the plastic. I'll get into that another time. But this has a delay on how long it takes to darken, I imagine. It has a different scale of starting to darkness, I guess. So all the way on the one end, it starts at a 5 and it darkens to a 9. On the other end of the spectrum, it starts at a 9 and darkens to a 13. And then it also has a weld and a cut and a grind setting, which is pretty nice. And then sensitivity. So I'll have to get into the instructions here, figure out what all this stuff is supposed to do. I'm so far pleasantly surprised with a $60 hood versus replacement cost on this is $40 now. I bought it for $30 when I got it 2 or 3 years ago, and $20 more, and this has a lot more features. I had a chance to look through the instructions a little bit, and I decided, what the hell, I'm just going to video this anyway, so you might as well see it more or less real time, minus movie magic, video editing, what have you. So, we're going to talk about what came with this. We already talked about this CR2450 3-volt battery that came with it, and I was mistaken. There's actually 2 of these outer shields and 1 of these inner shields for the welder itself, and the instruction booklet. This tells you about how everything is supposed to work, so on and so forth, gives you technical specs, but we don't need any of that. I wouldn't know what I'm looking at anyway, even if I read it. Tells you where everything is on there, tells you how to put together the headset, but it came with the headset assembled, so I didn't have to worry about that. Again, more information on how to do that, how to set it up for your comfort, I guess, it's actually pretty cool. We'll talk about that real quick. You have 2 over-the-head straps. You can set each of these so that the way that I set it was so that my front band is right over my brow, and this rear band, where it swivels, it can swivel down around behind that bump on the back of your head. For the technical nerds out there, the occipital protuberance. This can swivel around back behind that. It gives you a really good positive fit. Feels really nice, actually. And then this gives you tightening on both sides at the same time, if you can see that. Well, let me see if I can illustrate that a little better. It's kind of hard with you can see both straps moving at the same time, both sides. So that's pretty nice. And then one thing that I noticed is you have these, looks like 5 bars on the side with these fairly heavy tensioned little tabs, and there's 1 on each side. And once you get this headset on, the headgear on, and you flip your hood down in place, when it came to me, it was on the middle post here on the sides, and that puts your viewing angle so that you'd actually be looking down. If that makes any sense, you'd be looking down through your hood at a fairly steep angle. So I set it back by 1 bar, if you notice here. So it's not on the highest, but that'll give me a good straightforward viewing angle with the hood all the way seated down. And we'll see. I haven't used this hood yet, so we'll see if that's optimal or not, but that's where I chose to set it up first start. And then these knobs on the side are fairly tight to begin with, and that keeps your hood from just flopping down in your face. So yeah, there's a fair amount of adjustment that comes with this. A lot of yeah, I guess personal setup. You can make this so that it just fits you pretty stinking well from what I've noticed. Anyway, we'll get into it a little bit deeper. Maybe I ought to look in here. This page talks about the appropriate darkening for whatever work you're doing, and your sensitivity adjustment. This could not have been put better, I don't think, by the best writers. Choose the appropriate sensitivity, not only realize the anti-interference capability, but also achieve better work. When welding current is small, you need to put the sensitivity knob to high place, so you can detect weak stable arc. When welding current is big, you need to put the sensitivity knob to low place. You can avoid the arc interference by others. Sensitivity is stepless control, set by hand according to actual situation. I don't think I could have put that better myself. I think it's really only upstaged by this. Delay time is time from dark to light, stepless control. When welding current is big and the light of molten pool is very strong, you need to put the delay knob to high place so you can avoid the glasses to be wounded by the light of molten pool. If you want to do spot welding, you need to put the delay knob to low place so you can improve the work efficiency. Adjust delay knob to middle place is suitable for most welding mode. Absolutely stellar. Eloquent. I could not have put that better myself. And welding grinding function. The welding/grinding function is switched through the knob on the helmet body. When it is switched to grind, giggity, it means it enters grinding mode, under which the auto darkening filter will not turn black when detecting any arc light. Therefore, please switch to the correct position based on service conditions before using. Now, English aside, that is a cool function. I really hope it lives up to my expectations with this welding hood, because it is so frustrating switching my welding hood over to my face mask for grinding and for cutting, and then going back to my welding hood to put little pieces together, because I'm not doing a production shop here. I'm a hobbyist. I'm a home gamer. I cut and weld and build as I go. A lot of times I don't even have a fully conceptualized plan before I get started. I just know where I want to start. So I think that'll be a really, really handy feature, and I hope it works well. I hope that I can see well enough through this mask to be able to grind and cut without having to switch out headgear. I think that'll make life a lot easier. So we'll carry on. I haven't pulled the protective films off any of this stuff yet. I was kind of hoping that I could do this on camera so you could see how it needs to happen. And of course I'll let it out all the cussing and swearing. Well, you know, within reason. If it's warranted, then it'll stay in. But from what I'm seeing, yeah, you have this tab at the bottom. It's fairly heavy there. Let me look at this up a little bit closer. Huh. It appears you pull that out. Rather, you flip this tab down on the bottom. And it appears that nothing wants to cooperate anyway. Alright, so it kind of slips out a little bit sideways. Easy does it. Easy. So this whole unit just kind of flips out of the way. Pretty interesting. I don't know how this compares to other hoods either. Like I said, I have no experience with any other hoods. But that's how you pop this guy out. And you can get your film off of the outside there. Very nice. And push that back into place, I guess. Now for this rear one, I'm not seeing how you would conveniently remove that. Ah, okay. So you can take that this entire piece off the back. Oh yeah, great. Then you have to be ginger with it? I don't think so. It's not going to work for me if I have to be delicate with the damn thing. So you pop that out. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That was pretty easy. Relatively painless. Ah, get off. They don't give you a long leash on here. Now, sorry, I'm working inside this thing, so I can't pull it out and show you any better than this. It's tethered to the inside by the. See if I can show you. It's got a leash in there that tethers it to the controls on the exterior, so it makes it a little bit tough. Now, guess we'll pop this guy back on. Okay, cool. And maybe try putting the whole thing back together. Let's see, before we snap that in place, let's have a look, see, make sure that everything looks like it's relatively well lined up. Looks all right to me. Okay, so the whole thing's lined up. I'm just pushing this in at the bottom, and all right, yep, snaps right back in place, nice firm. Okay, and it's a little bit of a view through the screen. That is not too bad. I did a couple of tests looking through this thing. I'll do some in the future, hopefully with my phone or a camera inside this hood. I'll use my other hood when I strike an arc, and it'll give you a chance to see how well it darkens and so on. But just looking at my shop light, it darkened very quickly to a nice level. Until I actually use this, I have no complaints. I'll do an update where I do actually use it, give you guys a chance to see that. Before I go, let's see if I missed. I did miss a couple of things on the inside, on the back here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, just barely. Right there is a test button. Let's see if we can get a little bit better view of it. Right there, it's a test button, and that darkens the lens. So you can kind of see that happening when I push that button. And just above that test button, there's a low battery indicator. Again, very, very nice feature. And for 60 bucks, I am just absolutely blown away by that price. So test button, low battery, and this shows you on the inside where you go for the battery. It's on the control module right here. You can see the knurling on that side, and you just pull that out. There we go. So you pull that guy out, and there's your battery right there. Just a piece of cake, and then this little guy just flicks back in. Maybe. Oh yeah, nice. So no complaints with that. That's also a nice feature. Precautions of the helmet. You know, if you're going to buy one of these, then you're going to read this or not, whatever. And warranty card. So according to this manual, they provide a 1-year warranty and lifelong maintenance service. So any man-made damage or damage arising from improper use or failure to follow the user manual is outside the scope of free warranty. You'll be charged for the cost of any repairs by the price of parts. Again, nicely put. So, auto darkening welding mask, Mike 800 Hotel. They have some other versions of it. I am very pleased with this. Again, I will do an update once I have some runtime on this, and I'll do my best to show you actually what to expect. But for now, $20 US over the Harbor Freight, like lowest of the low grade that Harbor Freight has to offer in an auto darkening helmet. And this came with a lot to offer. So catch me on the next one. I'm working on a few different projects right now, so if you're interested in what I'm doing with my 2006 Dodge Ram pickup, or if you're curious about any of the welding stuff that I'm doing or the electrical stuff that I do, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you give the videos that I do that you watch a like. I don't know if it does me any good. I'm sure it does somebody some good. And comment below. Make sure you hit the bell icon and change the setting on that, especially if you're watching on your phone, so that you get notifications of new videos, and you can kind of keep up with what else I'm doing. So in the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.